So first we went to the airport. We flew for almost an entire day. We flew all the way to Bangkok and we met our friends David, Liate, and Lucia, and Julian. The first day in Bangkok, we went to a park that was very cool. It had lots and lots of monitor lizards. And then we got on another plane and then we went to Malaysia. This is pretty cool graffiti. You don't really see that kind of graffiti back home. Here's a painting of a guy in a boat. This is a lady praying that we found in the alley. Here's a painting of a cat. It looks funny how it's coming out of the window. This is a painting of a kid walking his monster. Then we went to a park and saw a ton of monkeys. These are dusky langurs. Dusky langurs have very long tails. This right here is a macaque. Macaques will come into your stuff and steal stuff. We also saw a whole lot of temples. This one is a lot older than it looks. There was also tons of decoration on it. There's even fish on the decoration. I stopped for a selfie with this guy. People find all kinds of different ways to get around town. Then we went to the mangroves. There was a bat cave at the mangroves. I really like the stalactites and stalagmites. We saw this viper snake on a log. We think it was waiting for a fish. We saw eagles. There was a place where people would feed them. Then we went to this fish farm. It's pretty cool because we get to feed the fish. I like seeing the giant fish eat the little ones. Then we got to plant mangroves. They help preserve the shoreline. That's a mangrove seed right there in my hand. And we finally got some beach time. And a bit of time to relax. We went to the sky bridge. It was super high up in the air. It went to the top of a mountain. It was pretty scary on the way up, but on the way down, I wasn't as scared. Then we split off from our friends and went to Cambodia by ourselves. We got to ride in a tuk-tuk. It's basically a trailer pulled by a little motorcycle. We stayed in the crazy hotel with crazy lights. This was James. He was our guide for the temples. This is the first temple we went to, and also the oldest. This is at Angkor Wat. There were tons of tourists. There was 4 of these wall paintings. They were humongous. The wall carvings told tons of stories about gods, battles, and kings. This is another temple we went to. It was pretty big. We got to go inside and explore around the temples. It was in ruins. It was falling down and crumbling a lot. But some people still use them for praying. There was also lots of Buddhas. Then we went to the temple where Tomb Raider was filmed. It was completely overgrown by trees. There was tons of trees everywhere, growing out of the walls. It's really cool to see that the jungle's taking its land back. Between temples, we went to the Landmine Museum. There was tons of bombs there. There's still 3 million of them left. This is a map showing where there's still lots of landmines in the world. 1 in every 30 people have been injured by a landmine in Cambodia. Then we went on a crazy boat ride to a floating village. Boats were old and scary. The boat in front of us, people had to keep on bailing out inside. The floating village was actually on stilts, not really floating. When the monsoons come, the water goes way up. That's why they made their houses on stilts. A lot of people make their living fishing. They have a giant lake next to them, and that's where they get all their fish. Everyone uses boats to get around. Even the kids were out on boats. Then we got on another plane and then went to Laos. We stayed next to the Mekong River. There was lots of houses built on the riverside. This is a bamboo bridge that we walked across. It's a lot more sturdy than it looks. These are fish traps on someone's boat. We saw lots of Buddhas. Buddha standing up, Buddha laying down, Buddha sitting down. We also saw lots of temples. Temple. And monks. More monks. Lots of monks. Monks. Even monks on a ladder. On New Year's Day, people give alms to the monks. And if you don't know what alms is, it's food to help them get by. And then we went to see elephants! Baby elephant, mama elephant. We stayed at an elephant hospital and preserve. Did you know that there's 5,000 muscles in an elephant's trunk? I touched the elephant. It felt very leathery. These are the mahouts. They're like friends, protectors, and trainers of the elephants. Each elephant had its own mahout. They were good friends. Then it was back on another plane. And we went back to Bangkok. There was lots of people, and we went to a giant mall. And then we saw Star Wars. That's the reason we went to the mall. That guy was a little Star Wars creature. Very funny. Then we saw one more Buddha, but this one was huge! It was 200 feet long and 30 feet tall. We hung out with friends, we saw elephants, and I learned all kinds of stuff about the world. I even saw kids just like me,